I would say the number of Porsches left in the world that are untouched in this condition, you could probably count on 2 hands. I'm Tom Cotter. The first car I found, I was 12 years old. I'm 61 years old now and I'm still finding cars. And in this series, you'll see that there are still plenty of cars left. I've been dreaming since I'm probably 12 years old about finding a car like this. We're about to walk in to meet a woman named Nellie to see a car she's got in her garage that's been in her family for 50 years. I found out about the car from her son Jose. Let's go check it out. Boy, aren't you nice? Wow.
Oh, I was waiting for
Nobody's ever done this for us before.
Nobody has. Oh, I am so glad to be there first. Okay, let me show you the album. And are you all ready? Oh, I'm sorry. I have it here. Here is the Porsche.
Ah.
See, this was the original color. It was kind of white or off-white. And maybe that was before he painted it red.
Now, what year did he buy it? Do you know?
In 1967.
67.
And he started driving it when he was 26.
Were you married to him then?
No.
Did you know him then?
I met him in 1967. And I was going to my, we met on a bus. I was going to my brother's medical school graduation. And we both missed the bus that would leave earlier. So we waited, and that's where we met. Once we boarded the bus, we met. He had the 26, and I had 28. 26, 27.
You were.
We were sitting in the same.
Isn't that something?
3-4 months after, we met in May, and in June, he sent 2 of his best friends from Texas. He sent them to meet my parents and I.
Wow.
And let me go over there and bring something that I want to show you. He said, take this to Nellie. And he said, and she produced this from her purse, and she said, this pen is the color of his car. She didn't say Porsche or anything. It's the same color of his car, in which she will be coming to meet your parents.
Really?
And then
That's amazing.
she went back to her purse, reached and produced a measuring tape. He said, what is a measuring tape for? And she said, this is to measure you for your wedding gown. So
That's
I am
amazing.
5'2", but at that time I felt up in the clouds, 6'2", like he was 6 feet.
So tell me about, you got married, you moved to Dallas.
Moved to Dallas.
And you had the little Porsche. I mean, did you go on rallies?
It was just for, we used to drive it to Oklahoma, to Dallas, to Fort Worth. That was our weekend car.
Mm-hmm.
Until he passed away. He acquired Lugaru disease. And he passed away in April of 2004.
So should we look at the car?
Yes, let's go look at the car.
There are iconic cars that collectors dream of finding, and those cars might include 63 split window Corvette, a gullwing Mercedes, a Jaguar E-Type. There's just a group of cars. There's probably maybe 10 cars that every collector dreams, no matter what your interest is. We haven't seen what's behind this garage door yet, but this is one of those iconic cars that collectors dream of. Certainly I have. Since I'm a teenager, I've dreamed about finding a car like this, probably in this condition, that hasn't been used in so many years. So we're about to see this thing together for the first time. Wow. So this is the light cover, and I see what you've modified it with,
Yes.
with clothespins.
Uh-huh.
You take the front, I'll take the back.
Okay.
I only have one hand here. Oh, look at that. That's the same color as the pen.
Same color as the pen.
Isn't that amazing? So this has an optional hard top. It's fiberglass. And there may be a soft top still in the car. We'll see. It truly is a time capsule, never restored, long time ownership. I guess we're looking at 50 years of ownership. So it's got the cocoa mats, which was what every sports car had in the 60s back in the day. You can see the original color was right here, white. We saw the photograph in the book. The car was ivory color. And then we saw it gray. It probably was gray primer as he was preparing to paint it orange. All right, bring that camera over here. I'm going to lift up this floor mat here. This is the condition that a Porsche enthusiast would dream about finding. A Porsche Speedster with zero rust. And you can look at this floor, and it's solid as a rock underneath the mats. I mean, that's the benefit of finding a car in Texas as opposed to Vermont. I'm going to pop the trunk. I mean, just the way it should look. So this is a horizontally opposed, air-cooled Porsche 356 motor. Interestingly, the Porsche Speedster was not Porsche's idea to build. Porsche was bringing cars into the United States called cabriolets and roadsters, and they had roll-up windows and a taller windshield. And the U.S. importer for Porsche was named Max Hoffman out of Manhattan, New York. And Max went to Porsche and said, your cars are beautiful, the coachwork is beautiful, but they're too expensive. Americans don't want sports cars that expensive. Why don't you try building something less expensive? So together, Max Hoffman and Porsche came up with the concept of a Speedster. The Speedster has no roll-up windows. There is a slot here and a slot here, and side curtains go in here. So there's a window that slides in here, and it closes. If you want to open the window, you've got to take the window out and stow it underneath the hood. The other thing the Speedster had was a cut-down windshield. A cabriolet or a roadster windshield was several inches taller. Speedster also had the soft top, which is down inside there. There was no padding or anything like that. It was bare bones, very Spartan, inexpensive, and Americans loved them. So this went from being the lowest priced Porsche of the day to now probably being the most valuable and most desirable Porsche made in that era. You could pop the hood on here. There we go. So you can see the original body color. So this is the body color that came from the factory, this ivory white. If you can bring that camera over here, the battery sits right down here, and that's the spot where corrosion is the worst there. Why? Because, well, it's closed off, so there's no fresh air that gets in there. So if there's any moisture, it just sits there underneath the battery. And then some batteries would seep acid out of the top caps, and that acid would just go down. And so most Porsches that you find, at least the battery tray here has to be replaced. So this car has, the front and rear bumpers are not on there, which was a common modification in the day, was to pull the bumpers off just to give it a sleeker look. If you look, this car is known as a bathtub. The nickname is a bathtub Porsche, and it kind of looks like an old-fashioned bathtub turned upside down. Well, as we say there's no bumpers on the car, they're not on the car, but they're tied up near the ceiling in the garage. So this car is pretty darn complete. I would say the number of Porsches left in the world that are untouched in this condition, you could probably count on two hands. Ones where they've been sitting in one spot for 40 years. Ones that have solid floors, solid battery trays, and complete down to the bumpers in the attic, the emblems on here, all the gauges. This car's never been monkeyed with. Oh, you have more things. Porsche emblem, a Speedster emblem. Here's the Porsche Handbook by Floyd Clymer. He was the repair manual guy who wrote manuals for all the sports cars back in the day. Here's bumper guards, an extra headlight rim, a push rod tube for rebuilding the motor if you wanted to. Spare taillight lens. This is looks like an inner door panel. I bet this goes inside this door right here. Let's see. It might actually go right there. There's a remnants of an old oil change sticker. Unfortunately, it's not enough to see what the mileage was. Let's see what the mileage is. Well, it looks like 15,000 something, something, something. So the question is this a 15,000 mile car? Is it a 115,000 mile car? Or did the speedometer break somewhere in between? And I don't know. It's a very special car. We've been honored in unveiling today. You know, cars are only original once, and this car has not been touched. What I would do with this car, if I was lucky enough to own it, would just be clean it up. Probably rebuild the motor, clean it up, rebuild the brakes, of course, put new tires on, and just drive it the way Sam drove it every day when he went to school. What a wonderful heritage this car has. About a year ago, Jerry Seinfeld bought a car very similar to this. This is a 57 Type A Speedster, and Jerry bought a 58 Type A Speedster. And he went to auction and bought it for $583,000, which for a car that had rust on it. This car has no rust. But Jerry was criticized. You pay too much money for the car. You're going to drive, the whole hobby now is going to suffer because of you. He said, no, wait a minute. This is an original car, never been restored. It's complete. I just want an original car, and that's what it took to buy this car. So don't criticize me. So if that car were worth $583,000 with some rust, what could this Speedster be worth with no rust? Same pen, same car, same paint job, and same wonderful lady. Thank you. Beautiful. Wow, we just met an amazing woman, Nellie. We heard her story and saw a car that has been in her family for more than half a century. If you're interested in a car like that, that Barn Find Speedster will be coming up for auction in the near future. So keep your eye on the Hagerty newsletter for more information. Happy hunting.